Now, more of Illinois Rising, presented by the Illinois Policy Institute, the only show directly addressing the problems and solutions for Illinois. Now, from AM 560, here's Dan Proft.
Dan Proft back with Ted Dabrowski, Vice President of Policy at the Illinois Policy Institute, illinoispolicy.org. And Ted, we've talked about teacher pensions, police and fire pensions. Probably talk about politicians' pensions and why do they have them? Well, Governor Bruce Rauner asked himself that question, and he's got a partial answer. He signed a bill into law last week that will make future county board members no longer eligible for pensions, no longer eligible for the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund. Existing board members will still be, as the Illinois Constitution, of course, forbids clawing back, but future county board members. So that's a baby step in the right direction, it seems to me. And this was the brainchild of a recently minted state representative, Republican, out of Grundy County, Morris to be specific, David Welter. And Representative Welter joins us now. David, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
So this idea of eliminating pensions for county board members kind of was your brainchild, as I mentioned, and this was a proposal you brought forward while you were on the Grundy County Board, ultimately serving as its county board chairman prior to taking the appointment to the legislative seat. What was the impetus for the idea?
Yeah, that's correct. So from time to time, IMRF will go around to the local counties and do audits of their pension programs. This was something that had been talked about before IMRF had even come around, though, was getting rid of pensions, full-time pensions for board members that attend maybe 5 meetings a month. But when IMRF came around, we took a hard look, and they wanted board members to start producing as well, kind of like timesheets or documentation that they worked required hours. And obviously, a lot of them could not do that. Had a great discussion with a lot of board members and tried to rally them and say, guys, this is the opportunity. This is the time for us to do what's right. Let's get rid of these benefits. They're not deserved to us. We're not full-time employees. We're supposed to be public servants. And there was some resistance from other board members. They tried to come up with the excuse, well, I'm out in the community. People talk to me. That counts as hours. And it's all part of the job, really. So we led the effort in Grundy County there, and we eliminated pensions for part-time politicians that shouldn't have been getting them in the first place.
The thing that's remarkable about this is you actually had a good idea locally that was scaled statewide. That rarely happens.
Yeah, no, it's nice to see that we saw it, and then it's something being done in Springfield, and the governor ultimately signed the bill that eliminated it. It's good practice. It's things like that should be getting done in Springfield.
Well, Representative, this is a great piece of news. You've got a situation where you came up with a common sense initiative, and it got bipartisan support and signed off by the governor. I think it's amazing, and I find it interesting. I wish we could do more things. You obviously must have some other ideas, given that this is not the only small waste that's going on in the state. So, what are your next big initiatives that might find support like this?
Yeah, there's a whole slew of things in terms of improvements that we can make. Well, I've been really talking about people. Some of the governor's business reforms and his turnaround agenda. Obviously, we've seen these last couple sessions. It's been difficult to get things done with Mike Madigan's supermajority. But what's happening right now out there, if we can scale back at that, I think the governor has a fighting chance at workmen's compensation, other areas that I think will help improve the business climate in Illinois. I think we have a real chance of possibly getting that done in this next session. But something I would be really passionate about, obviously with the county board, IMRF pensions, ending those for part-time politicians, I do believe that the General Assembly members, a lot of them do treat it as a full-time job. But what frustrated me when I took office and found out was that the state doesn't really offer me a 401k style with a employee match. I'd really like to see the state of Illinois, for the elected officials, move away from pensions, completely end it, and move us into a 401k style. But what's important is that I think they deserve the employee match, just as any other state employee should have the ability to move to a 401k style plan with an employer match.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be something that I would be pretty passionate about.
Yeah, it's one of the things. I mean, far be it from me to take everybody's money out of the pockets of all the noblemen and magistrates in Springfield. But in addition to that, while there's that seems to be at least a sensible midpoint to removing pension benefits for politicians, part-time politicians, whether some of these legislators consider it full-time or not, it's a part-time job. But that seems to be a good intermediate step. But in addition to that, what about something along the lines of what Comptroller Munger has proposed, which is, speaking of the job, if you don't do your job, which is to put a constitutionally balanced budget on the governor's desk, then you don't get paid at all.
Yeah, I think it would definitely motivate legislators to actually do their job. That's something that we want to sign on to as well. The comptroller right now is trying to show the people and some of the information that she's put out about where we're at in the budget, the backlog of bills. I think she's really trying to do a good job of driving home that, folks, we're at a fiscal cliff here. And if we can't get our legislators to do their job, then we need to hold them accountable. That means no pay.
All right. He is State Representative David Welter, one of the representatives that represent a new generation of leadership in Springfield, long overdue. Republican from Morris, Representative Welter, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. Have a great day.